Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hotkeys podcast. This is a show on various things of pop culture, shortcuts and stuff. I'm your host, Mick, and I'm joined by
Landon Browning.
Oh, sorry, Wil.
Well, yeah, I'm Wil.
It's been a while since I've hosted, so I'm a little rusty. I apologize. It's Saturday, the 20th of March. How's it going, guys?
Oh, it's going. It's a beautiful day here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. You know, negative 30 right now, 50-mile-per-hour winds.
Wait, seriously? Oh my gosh.
Nah, it's actually pretty warm here. It's finally warming up. This is the first day that's kind of been springish weather.
Gotcha.
Our winter is. I think our winter is behind us now. So.
It's nice.
Winter is over.
There's nothing better
for
than
us. It's supposed to snow next week.
No.
Wait,
On
really?
Monday.
No.
Yeah.
Please stop. I spent the week in Helena, Montana, and the weather was beautiful, like every day. It was like sunny, like 60, 70 degrees. It felt like.
And you get mountains and everything too.
Yeah, seeing the mountains, because like the mountains would still have like snow on them, but like it was warm out and it was sunny. Like the driving like was amazing. Like just all the scenery.
Man, I love mountains. I know I've said this before on the show, but the thing I miss most about having to live in Michigan is the lack of any type of mountains. It's a bummer. It's a real bummer.
Yeah, there was a couple points when I was driving home that I almost pulled off the road and like got out of my like van and tried to was gonna walk around because there's like some gorgeous rivers like running like snaking through like the road, and it was just so man, I love a good scenic drive. Like there's something like when you're younger, like you hate driving, like you hate like long road trips, and now like that I'm older, like the thought of like a 5-hour drive, I'm like yes.
Well, there's so much that as a kid that you hate and that you just can't like put up with, that as an adult it's nothing. Driving is one of those things, like having to be in the car. This is also a thing we've talked about on the show before, but like being in a car ride for 20 minutes as a kid is excruciating.
Well, it's agony.
And 20 minutes in the car as an adult is like relaxing and kind of tranquil, I guess, depending on where you're driving. But you know,
even like plain like boring drives can be interesting. You can still see something interesting along the road every once in a while, I feel like. And plus you can listen to music and podcasts and
Well, any car ride's better when you're the driver, right?
I think so. I like driving better.
You have all the power.
Yeah, you can swerve into oncoming traffic if you want to. You can
If you want,
hit a guardrail.
you can drive off a bridge if you want.
Yeah,
You can GTA it and like drive up a mountain and try to
get
to the
5
top.
stars. Get 5 stars on your
5
warrant
stars.
level.
I guess I do agree with you, Mick, because like when I ride passenger, sometimes I get like kind of zone out into nothing and just like pull my phone out or something, and just kind of drone out. But when you're driving, you're just kind of engaged with
Landon pulling his phone out. When does that not happen?
Dude, stop.
Well, when I was living in Oregon and I would make the drive up to Spokane, it's like a 6-hour, 5.5-hour drive. When you're driving, it just seems like it flies by.
Yeah,
But I've taken that trip many times as a passenger, and it's like, this is taking a really long time.
But then you can read, or you can listen to podcasts or something. If you
I can't read. I can't read.
who reads these days?
Because I actually liked, as a kid, well, okay, not as a young kid, when I got a little bit older, when I was, I guess, like a teenager, that's when I started liking car trips, because it was fun to play handheld games in the car, or to read a book in the car, or stuff like that. As a young kid, though, car rides were excruciating, even the short
I can
ones.
only listen to stuff. If I have any, like...
Well, you get weird
If
motion.
I'm reading something, or if I'm watching something, yeah, I get pukey.
Yeah,
Ugh.
road trips for me as a kid were excuses to play video games for however long the road trip was.
Yeah, your DS or your 3DS or whatever.
Because I was allowed limited time on like the GameCube or the Wii when I was little.
Yeah.
So
Preach.
when a road trip came around, I could whip out my DS and play for like 5 hours straight. It was great.
Just whip it out. Yeah.
There's a stylus joke
I
somewhere.
thought about
but
getting
anyway,
what's it called, the Nintendo game console?
The
thing?
Switch?
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been thinking about getting one.
Oh, I
I'd
didn't
say
tell
it's
you
worth
guys on the podcast. Bree got a Switch. She won a Switch from this tournament thing that she took part in, or this
Smash
raffle.
Bros tournament. She
Yeah.
got first place.
It was
out of
crazy.
like 1,000 people.
She was villager. I was so mad. I was like, man,
Yes,
I couldn't have won with
yes,
someone else.
Yes. Plant a tree.
No, she
Plant a tree.
She won a Switch
Those are so
Lite and a copy of Animal Crossing, and she's actually been playing a lot of Animal Crossing. She's really been enjoying it. It's like her kind of game because she gets to have this little community that she's fostering and planting things and adventuring and stuff. So
You
she's
gotta
actually
play
been
God basically in that game.
so she's been really enjoying that. I don't think she's here. What I'm gonna
You can.
I'm gonna.
could
Do you
literally-
think?
I
Will,
think I'm
do
gonna
you think
get
her-
her.
Do you,
I'm gonna
do
get her.
you think Bree's a
Stardew
caring
Valley.
and loving God, Will, or do you think she's an unemotional, hateful God?
You know. I
Yeah,
think
Will. Yeah,
there's-
what's your opinion now? Is it any different than it would have been 2 weeks ago?
You know, religion is sometimes like you have both-isms where it's kind of both at the same time. I think this is one of those cases where
Answer
it's,
the
she's
question.
both.
Bree is both a loving and a just God.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, she's really been enjoying it. It's kind of her kind of game. So I think what I'm going to do is probably like the next month or something. I think I'm going to get her Stardew Valley because I think that's kind of a very similar game. She's played a little bit of that on the computer, but now since she has her first gaming console, I think it'd be kind of cool to have her own little game collection as well. So anyway, I'm bringing the downfall of
Congrats
my
to her.
wife by finally having her embrace video games. So.
Yeah. Like, where would we all be without video games? We'd probably all be like building skyscrapers, like helping humanity forward.
No, I don't
like,
know. I don't think any of the four of us would be doing those things if we didn't play video
No,
games.
I know. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I don't consider myself a dumb person, but I'm not a smart person either. So I have an average mind that most of the time doesn't live up to its potential.
Wait, maybe it's because of video games. Maybe that's what Will is trying to tell us all along.
Exactly.
Man, you don't
I
want to get
get
into
it.
like real talk, right? About like
Video games or
like wasting lives and the things we can all do to waste lives.
No.
What
What is wasting? Like, it's such a hard, like, what is a waste of time? Isn't anything...
Well,
anything.
wasting your time did
Candy
not
is a waste of
exist
time.
until electronics existed. There was no possible way you could waste your life in any other sense of the word before there was electronics that were on the world. So, like, clearly that's the only thing that is a time waster.
Yeah.
Man, I
little
feel
too
some
deep.
some deep.
That's
like,
too deep for me. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about Justice
Talk about something-
League. Like,
I mean-
let's not deep. So-
Uh-oh.
Oop.
All right, Michael, why don't you start? And because I haven't seen Justice League, so I'm going to be on the sideline.
Well, you
seen-
did
you've
see
seen
Justice
Justice.
League.
Well, I've seen Justice
No, he
League.
saw Justice League.
I didn't
So
see
there's a
Zack
difference.
Snyder's yet. So I'm going to be on the
Um,
sideline for most of this conversation. So, Michael, how about you start like with your impressions?
Justice League was way better than Zack Snyder's Justice League. The movie's way better at 2 hours than 4 hours. I like a rushed storytelling. It's nice to have a lot of important scenes and stuff that explains everything cut out of the movie. So I really appreciate what they did in 2017 by completely chopping up Zack Snyder's movie and making it something else. You know, Dave.
I didn't see the original, so I cannot
Dave and I are
agree
Zack Snyder
with that
purists,
sort of that
so we
claim.
didn't.
But yeah, as someone who has historically loved other Zack Snyder superhero movies, I can probably say that the longer the better. So
You froze for me, so I didn't hear any of what you said. So.
Hello?
Yeah, I think. Hold on, I think I got
Hello?
a Frozen too. Hello.
Did you guys hear me?
Hey,
you didn't hear anything
can-
I said?
No.
I didn't hear you.
Everybody
No, you, like-
froze.
Darn.
Yeah,
Everybody
Okay.
froze.
Say it again.
You probably picked it up on your recording though because you were talking.
yeah,
so
yeah,
Just
yeah.
say it again. We'll react.
Say it again, Dave.
Say it again, Dave.
I said, as a Zack
you remember what you
Snyder
said?
Said.
purist and fan of many of his previous comic book movies, I'm sure that the longer the better. So I was agreeing.
So you like
with
Watchmen,
you.
right?
I did like Watchmen. I have not seen it in a while, so
Did you see 300?
I've never seen 300. No, I've seen Man of
I think
Steel. I've seen Batman v Superman. I've seen Watchmen
And Snyder Cut.
and the Snyder Cut. Yeah,
Did you watch it with anybody or just yourself?
I watched it with Bree. Bree and I watched the whole thing last night in one sitting, Landon, because I'm a true fan. I don't break it up over days like losers do.
I watched it in 2 days. I was so tired in my hotel the night I watched half of it, and I was like, well, I should go to sleep because it was like midnight. I was like, watch the second half.
After work yesterday, I went shopping real quick, got some food, came back, and we basically started it as soon as I got home because I knew it was going to be a long haul, and I didn't want to start it at 7 or 8 because I wanted the movie to be over earlier, so I had time to do more stuff in the evening. So yeah, we started at 6 p.m. my time and went to I think we paused it once or twice, so we stopped it kind of around 10:30 or something. But yeah, it was that was a very long movie. I will say that. I without seeing the first movie, I can't know how it's different from the added material. I do think it was too long. I'm not exactly sure what they would need to take out to make it shorter. But I like some long movies, like extended version of Return of the King. I think is kind of
it's just Zack Snyder's long movies that you don't like.
comparable to length, I think, and I think the Return of the King is gripping the whole way through from beginning to end in that 4-hour run, give or take however many minutes it is. And I did not have the same feeling from the Snyder cut of I think the 4 hours were used to the best of their ability. I think there was some elements that made the movie seem just a little too long.
Yeah, I thought it was really long.
Yeah, I mean 4 hours for anything is long.
Yeah.
So I mean, Mick, this is something you've been waiting for a long time. Preach to us. What was changed? What was better? What did you enjoy out of this? Was there things that you were really excited about?
Why didn't anyone tell me this tag was sticking out of my hat?
Well, because
this
is an audio podcast and no one can.
Why didn't you hear the tag sticking out of my hat?
It just slipping out.
No,
over time.
In all seriousness, this movie was miles better than the theatrical cut that we got. For it being basically the same plot, it was a completely different movie. Think of it as going on a road trip, and you're going from where we are down to LA or something or wherever, and the original version, you take the most boring route possible and try to get there as quickly as possible. Zack Snyder's version was taking all the scenic routes, all the really cool visiting locations, seeing all the waterfalls, taking your time and just having a good time with it. So that's how I feel about it.
What would you say are some of those waterfalls and scenic routes that were in this version of the movie?
A lot of cyborg stuff. To me, he was really kind of the heart of the movie. In the Justice League version, he was maybe in the movie for about 2 minutes. He was barely in the movie. His character was completely chopped, basically. All Steppenwolf stuff. Not just the character design change, but his purpose in the movie, his drive for his character.
What was his drive in the original version?
I don't really know. It wasn't really explained very well. He was just a bad guy that was
trying to conquer.
Yeah.
He was bad for the sake of bad, if I remember. He was just
pretty much,
I'm here to conquer
the world. He was very
world.
generic. I mean, it goes without saying, but all the Henry Cavill Superman stuff, I mean, it was just appalling in Joss Whedon's version. Not just because of all the upper lip mustache stuff, but just his characterization. It just, in that movie, he felt like a completely different character than we've been having in the past 2 films. This
was
one
he just
felt
not
a lot
in it
more...
as much? Did he show up in a different way or something? Or
the way he showed up was the same.
By being resurrected with the mother box.
Right, but there are some details that were just taken out that it just seems like it adds a lot to it.
I didn't really feel like he was in the movie that much in the Snyder cut. He doesn't show up till, 3 hours into the movie? Or is it
I don't know.
2.5?
It was pretty far into the movie when he actually, when they showed up.
I do like his. I haven't seen the Justice League version, but I do like the look of the of just a couple of aesthetic changes. I like the black suit, just aesthetically.
Black
way
suit's
more.
great, and it's comic accurate. It's just truer to what happened before. So the fact that Warner Brothers didn't want that at all is just
kind of weird.
Such a weird choice. But.
And the Steppenwolf, how he looks in the other one, just from screenshots I've looked at, I didn't really care for him in this movie, but he is way better looking than he was.
Way better looking.
I liked his armor. I thought his armor was really cool.
I like when he shakes the arrows out, in the beginning of the film.
Oh, when he clenches and they go.
Yeah, the armor rattles and they all fall out. I thought that was kind of neat.
Oh dang! I just looked at a picture comparison between the.
Yeah,
what he looked like
crazy.
in the.
Yeah.
It was like Craig the Brute, basically, beforehand. It was pretty bad. I was like, oh gosh, this is terrible.
Darkseid wasn't in the original version at all. I think there was just one mention of his name.
Was there even allusions to him, when they were saying him and he?
There was one mention of him, and I think Steppenwolf is just I'm doing this for Darkseid, and that was it. Nothing else. There was a lot of scenes that were reshot for Joss Whedon's version that were pretty much the same scene, except the tone of it was changed to be more comedic and played for laughs. Like the scene between Martha and Lois, of her kind of encouraging her to get back into the real world.
Uh-huh.
That scene in Justice League was reshot, and there were sex jokes in it, and it was supposed to be funny kind of Marvel humor. There was a shot where this a news spot on the TV, just this obnoxious woman talking about aliens abducting things and everything, just being really cringy. It's hard to explain if you haven't seen it. I don't know if you remember that scene, Will.
I don't remember much about the movie because it was just so forgettable. I wish I could back everything up, but it's just gone from my mind because I just don't care.
Yeah, that's
it seems like the consensus of people that have seen both is that Justice League is an abomination to mankind, and
I mean it really is, yeah. And it's funny because I don't know when, it must have been when the first one came out, but Zack Snyder had never seen that version of the movie, but his wife Deborah and Christopher Nolan went to the screening. And after it, they came back to him and they said, don't watch that cut. They couldn't believe what they did to his cut. And I mean, it really is
boy.
Two different movies.
My baby boy. Look what they did to my baby boy. Do you think it's so my thing though is I haven't seen the Justice Abomination, but from just watching Zack Snyder's cut of the movie, I did not think it was a good movie. There was some elements I liked. I really liked I liked the Flash. I liked his character a lot.
Oh my gosh, the Flash in this movie and the original, I mean I would say he's quirky, charming in Zack Snyder's version. In the other version, he's just downright annoying and just cringy to listen to.
Yeah, there's only one funny scene with him in the original one.
What is brunch? Is it food or is it lunch? I don't know. People are just slow. It's
pretty terrible. But the one scene that made me laugh, there's a scene in the original. I don't know if it's in the Justice League where I think they're confronting Superman and Flash runs and Superman matches his speed and it turns his head and Flash's face was really funny.
That happened.
That
in this
isn't
one too.
Yeah,
okay,
that isn't. Yeah.
Okay, that was the one scene that I remember from that entire movie.
I will agree with Landon on the Flash. I think he was one of my more favorite characters in the movie. I liked his hot dog scene.
That was funny. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
For a movie that doesn't have a lot of points where there's there's like sighs of relief or like laughter. I thought that was kind of funny.
That's what I liked was Flash, and then I didn't really like anything else in the movie. My main complaints would be...
You don't like Aquaman?
No, I thought... Okay, so I did not like Aquaman in the movie.
What didn't you like about Aquaman?
I didn't feel like he had any sort of like... He didn't have any point to be there. I didn't feel like he offered any kind of character development or character arc. He just kind of showed up, like they kind of tried to recruit him. He disappeared for a while. He randomly showed up in like the sewer scene, and then he just kind of hung out and helped fight for the movie, but he didn't really actually have any... Like there was like the scene with whoever William Dafoe's character was, but I didn't really...
Was that his stepdad, basically, Mick?
No.
Who was that?
Who was that?
He was like a mentor, like a mentor figure to him.
Oh, okay.
Explain. He's more in the Aquaman movie.
Okay, he's in the actual Aquaman movie, though.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I kept just waiting for him to like start laughing maniacally because I just thought he's so...
Peter, it's me.
I have a hard time taking him seriously in some movies just because he's so like maniacal.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that I immediately go to the Spider-Man trilogy and not Lighthouse.
Boondock Saints.
Oh, dude. Oh,
Boondock Saints. Jeez.
I always picture, if I see Willem Dafoe, my first thought is either Green Goblin or his character in Boondock Saints. Which both are very different characters, but they're both
pretty much the same character.
If Landon or Will, if you have not seen that movie,
I need to see it.
You should watch it at least once. Just to
Isn't it crazy? It's a crazy movie, right?
Yes, it's crazy. I would agree with that. Mick,
yeah,
would you attest?
I would.
So I didn't like Aquaman. I thought Wonder Woman was okay. Like I like her arm, like aesthetically, like in like she's somewhat okay, but I didn't feel like she did too much in the movie either, like character arc wise.
Well, she was on screen a lot because whenever she was on screen, her 15-second loop of music started playing.
Okay, I wasn't gonna get to that yet, but I thought the fact that like every time Wonder Woman would do anything, like that music would play. Like it was cool the first couple times, but the fact that it happened like probably 25 times in the film, like by the end it was so grating that like I couldn't. That and then like the 50 or 60 times it cut to slow motion during action sequences. I'm not a big fan of slow motion, but I think there is like a right way to do it. And they did it so many times, and that's something that like upset me because it almost even undercut the cool stuff Flash would do in the movie because he's super fast. So all like when you experience his powers, it's in slow motion. But the fact that I think literally every character in the film had a couple slow motion sequences.
Well, and there were quite a few that were before his first slow-mo sequence too. So like because you had Wonder Woman's stuff. I believe there was there an Aquaman one even before the Flash had his slow-mo sequence?
I don't think so. Maybe there was, but I can't remember.
There was there was quite a bit of slow motion. Well, and we know that's kind of like a Zack Snyder thing, right? He's kind of a big slow-mo sequence guy, I believe.
I've only seen his DC movies, I think, are the only, and Guardians of the Owl movie. I've seen that one, but that was a long time ago. Oh, and I guess Watchmen. So no, I've seen 5 Zack Snyder films. So I've seen over half of them. So,
Watchmen is DC.
Okay, yeah. I don't think of it as like a DC. You know,
it's not the DCEU though. Like it's not the part of the expanded universe. Is it?
Whoa! we knew that's what you're trying to say, but when Landon said, "I don't think of it as DC," we were like, "Oh, we know what he's trying to say."
I mean, but that's such a stupid statement, though. Because you like Batman, you like the Dark Knight trilogy.
Okay, well, I don't really think of the Dark Knight trilogy like in the.
By like DC, you mean the DC universe, right?
Did you say I like Green Lantern?
Yeah,
dude. Well, I mean, it's so good. Just for the CG alone in Green Lantern, I mean, you can't.
I thought you were gonna say for Blake Lively.
I did not see Green Lantern. How bad was that?
Oh, it was horrible.
It was horrible. Yeah. The main villain was a giant fart cloud, and there was like a testicle head man or something. No, he was like, I guess, setting up to be the next movie's villain, but
at the end credits.
I think we're still waiting for that movie.
I mean, like when you think of the horrific movies like Green Lantern and like Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, and
or the other Fantastic Four movie, or the other Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, or like
Fantastic Four movies.
yeah. Like
I cannot believe they watched those that bad.
Yeah, like those are like, as much as I disliked the Snyder Cut, it's nowhere on the level of those movies. I feel like I feel bad that I don't have much good to say about it. I mean, like the Flash, like, and you said there was more Cyborg. Like that's probably something I would have I probably would have enjoyed. Yeah. I probably would have enjoyed the Justice League part because I could not stand Cyborg's character. I think I
what?
Racist.
Yeah, I couldn't
like
racist.
Cyborg.
I thought
like
I told
Cyborg?
Dave last night that I thought he might be the worst superhero character I've ever seen in a movie.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I could not stand
That is
him.
a strong opinion.
Yeah. I thought his character was super cheesy. Like,
how so?
Just like he's like, oh, he's the football star, good boy. Like you get this whole like his whole backstory is like 2 minutes in the movie about how he's just this great dude and he's got his loving, caring mom and his dad's never at the football games. And then like the car accident happens and his dad's like, oh, I can. It's just like the stereotype, like I can save him, and then he like puts him together as a robot, and then he goes from like, you know, happy, like go lucky, like, you know, like good guy to like broody, like depressed.
I think I would be if my life was like literally torn apart and my mother died.
But like it's all
my
it's
dad,
not, but it's
and
not
I blame
set,
my
like,
dad for things.
All the setup is like 3 minutes. Like that's the entire setup for his
Yeah,
character.
the funny
like
thing
3
is,
minutes
like,
long.
the way they split the movie up is that you had such a long movie where you can, like, I feel like you could have had more time in between that stuff. Like, maybe start with him. If they want him to be the heart of that, then, like, have more time in between so at least as a viewer, we kind of feel like more time has passed. But I think for a lot of the characters, they kind of had a lot of the, like sections of the movie that were kind of, like, devoted to one character, right? And I feel like a lot of the Cyborg stuff was kind of just back to back to back. Am I wrong about that? At least during, like, the first, like, part 1 to 3 or something? Landon and Mick?
Like all of his setup, I think, occurs in a couple sequences, and then he just kind of disappears. So they try to recruit him, and I feel like his flip from like not wanting to help them to helping them is like the turnaround time is like incredibly quick. Like Wonder Woman goes to recruit him, and he's like, "F you guys," like
F the world.
Yeah, that line. But I can't do. And then I think they kidnap his dad. I'm pretty sure, and then he decides to team up with them. So.
Does he only join after they kidnap his dad?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay.
His dad gets murked, man. Like,
did he have to die? Like, could he have pushed the button outside of the glass?
Oh, for sure. I don't think, and he doesn't die in the Justice League version of the movie.
Is he in much of the original movie? I'd guess probably not, right?
I mean, no one's really in that movie a lot.
Talking about Cyborg?
No, Cyborg's dad.
Oh, Cyborg's dad? I thought Cyborg's dad dies
Dr.
in
Stone.
Justice League.
Dr. Stone? Silas Stone? Is that his name? Silas?
Could be wrong.
But yeah, I don't know why they needed him to superheat that rock when like the base is like this huge glowing like monstrosity. Like it's already has to be emitting a ton of heat and like.
Hey, but it worked, you know?
Yeah, it worked. His dad got vaporized into. I did like watching. I mean, that was kind of cool.
You did like watching his dad die? Is that what you were like?
I mean, it was like kind of like a cool sequence. Like he just kind of like disintegrates. Like
I thought. See, yeah, there were some effects that I thought were kind of a little wonky in the movie, but that was kind of a cool effect. Seeing his like the particles kind of bounce through him, and how the poor guy basically just.
I did love watching. I did love watching Black Suit Superman just beat the ever living daylight of Steppenwolf. Like
I love how he's like over him for like 2 minutes, just
yeah, like when he's just pummeling him. Yeah, like I liked that.
Yeah.
And then they murk him. They cut his head off, which was cool too. I like watching.
That didn't happen in Justice League.
No,
they went for the
I don't
head.
even remember what happens to him.
How do they kill him in Justice League?
They don't kill him.
They don't kill him?
What
Nope.
happens?
Wait,
they
what?
seal him in the box,
The
right?
parademons just take him away, and he disappears.
Or they seal him in a box or something. I can't remember, though.
Nope, they just take him away.
Steppenwolf in a box.
That's really dumb. Okay, so that's dumb. That's another thing that's dumber. Like,
Wait, the mother boxes?
no, that they don't kill Steppenwolf. Like,
Yeah.
in the Joss. That's stupid. Like, Do they fight him as many times? I'm assuming some of the fight scenes are taken out because like that's another thing. They fought him like so many times in that movie. I felt like it was like it felt like a video game in the Snyder cut. Like they would show up and fight Steppenwolf, and it feels like if you were playing the video game,
like the Man Temple, the Atlantean Temple.
But you know what I mean? It feels like in the video game, like when you fight a boss and you like take their health bar all the way down, and then it cuts to a cutscene that the villain just runs away, and then like you have like a few more normal levels, and then you fight him again.
Your villain is in another castle.
Yeah, like so when they finally killed him, and like Superman just like slaughters him in like 45 seconds, basically like 2 minutes. Like it's not even a fight. Like I liked watching that. Like it's like watching like Homelander show up and just do some stuff. Like I want to see bad Superman. I love Homelander. Yeah, so I like that.
Was there
the black?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Landon.
And I really like. I just want to say it again. Like the black suit is dope. Like that was dope. So.
Well, and even that, like for Zack Snyder's version, he was still filmed in the red and blue suit, and then later in post he changed the coloring because even then they still didn't want him to have the black suit. So
yeah. Well, that cool, I didn't notice. I couldn't tell that it was.
Yeah, it's pretty flawless.
Yeah.
I want to ask a question. I have. It's how's the 4:3 aspect ratio?
Oh, that was. Is there a justification behind that, Mick? The only thing I was going to get, guess was that it was related to the fact that he was trying to give you that 90s Saturday morning superhero cartoon. Like that's the only thing I could think of as the reason why he wanted to do 4:3. What I've seen
from him saying is he wanted it to. There were a lot of shots that benefited from seeing like vertically more than horizontally. To me, I've just been so used to widescreen that I kind of wish it was widescreen. But it's one of those things that once you start watching it, it didn't really bother me. Like I didn't really notice it.
You get used to it pretty quickly.
Yeah,
I still think something like a superhero movie, I feel like it benefits a lot more from a widescreen aspect ratio than from something that's.
I think all movies are better that way, but and I think like he shot it for IMAX, and so I think it was more an IMAX aspect ratio. But yeah, I don't know.
IMAX does have like a more squished thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I wish was different, but watching it, it's like, I got used to it. So, let's see. The music was much better in this version. The Justice League, they hired Danny Elfman, and he basically just put 1978 Superman theme in there and Batman 89 theme in there, and called it a day.
Get it done. Cash that check.
So yeah, pretty much. So this version, it was more consistent with the previous movies that came along, and it felt like it fit a lot better. So yeah.
Were there anything in the movie that you didn't like, or that you were like expecting? Well, I guess staying on
the theme, or staying on the topic of music, there were some music choices that I thought were just a little strange, in terms of like the use of music.
There were some that were a little on the nose, I thought.
So like when Bruce Wayne is meeting Barry Allen, I thought some of the music was a little weird there, just placement wise. Let's see. I've only seen it once, so I'm having a hard time remembering. I mean, it's not a perfect movie, but so there were some things that I didn't, I guess, care for too much. Yeah, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
Do you still like Man of Steel and Batman v Superman better, or?
I think Man of Steel I still like the best. I would probably put Justice League maybe a tad bit higher than BVS, but only just.
Justice League? No, stop it. We haven't gotten to that yet.
Oh, the nightmare stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, for Jared Leto's Joker, though, that's much better than what we got in...
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad's Joker was an abomination to mankind. Like... And you know what? I'm not even going to put that on Jared Leto, like all of it.
Release the Ayers cut.
Like, it's probably, like... a lot of the like aesthetic stuff of Jared Leto's Joker and Suicide Squad, probably not on Jared Leto. That was probably, you know, creative.
I mean, you can't, because you look at him in this movie and it's a better version.
Yeah. So I don't want to just beat up on Jared Leto. I want to beat up on the creative people behind Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I thought the nightmare stuff was interesting, and I wish there was more of it.
You wanted a longer epilogue?
Just more integrated in the movie.
Oh, okay.
It felt weird. Like I felt like the epilogue felt like I liked the stuff with like the start of the epilogue, like the first half of it, when it's just kind of like wrapping up some of the side characters, like it's just showing them kind of doing some stuff after the movie. Like I thought that was okay, but then like the stuff in like the desert, or I guess maybe it's not the desert, but like is it like the bombed out Gotham or whatever? Like whatever, it looks like a desert, but like that stuff was interesting.
That's after Darkseid comes in and takes over the Earth and changes it.
But it's like that storyline, like Superman, it's like evil Superman, right? Like it's basically hints that Lois Lane is killed, like Batman lets her die or something happens, and maybe that Aquaman is dead, and that it's a different Flash that's there as well, right?
It's still Barry Allen.
Oh, okay. He looked a lot different. His armor.
Well, I think that shot specifically was one that
is that the one that's in the one that comes in through the portal in Batman v Superman?
In BVS.
Okay.
Yeah, so that shot specifically in the Snyder cut, that was a reshoot done over Zoom. So that's why it looks a little funky.
Yeah. For being shot over Zoom, it didn't look that terrible. So,
I mean, no.
I mean, you can clearly tell some of the stuff with Batman and Joker talking that they're not, in the same shot. They're not in the same room or anything. But like, not. I mean, that's to be expected. They had to, if they had to do it over Zoom, then it's pretty good. So
yeah.
I have another question.
Yes.
Do you think that there's going to be a sequel to this based off of the epilogue?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Clearly, it's not Warner Bros. Decision on what to do.
I thought it was
AT&T. No, because they weren't really up for doing the Snyder Cut. It was AT&T and
that's the parent company, though, right? Of
HBO Max. Yeah, so they kind of tell HBO what to do, or Warner Bros. What to do now.
Well, they've owned them for a while, haven't they?
I don't know.
I think it's been a while. It's been a minute.
I thought it was Time Warner before, like not too long ago. Either way, it's not up to Warner Brothers.
My conglomerate hierarchy history is a little rusty, so
I don't know. I think it's possible. I mean, anything's possible at this point since we've got the Snyder Cut, which millions of people were saying is never going to happen. It doesn't exist. We're never getting it. Move on. I think if this gets enough praise and viewership for HBO Max, I think anything could happen. I think we could see more of Snyderverse stuff. Okay, one thing I didn't really like that I thought undercut an emotional scene. So the scene between Lois and Martha in her apartment. Afterwards, you find out that was actually Martian Manhunter, not Martha. I mean, that scene is still good, but I think that they probably could have cut out the fact that was Martian Manhunter.
I would agree with that.
To me, that felt a little bit like an add-on, or...
I mean, it felt really fan servicey, but I did pause the movie at that point and go, wait a minute, is that... And then I had to pull out my phone, look up Martian Manhunter, because I couldn't tell quite. That's what my first thought, is that who it was? That's who it was, because I'm not as versed in that. So I pulled it up, and then I saw the one from the comic that has the red X across, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see that's him now. So
yeah,
I think feel like that was probably
consistent for him, is having the red X on his chest. So that's honestly all of the Martian Manhunter stuff. I was a little I probably could have done without him, or have him differently in the movie, because I still like that character a lot. I think just the way that they used him in the movie, if they establish that he's there and he's been there since Man of Steel, I think he should have been more involved in conflicts in the movie, instead of just
he shows up
an emotional support, and then
he shows up in Batman v Superman, and Superman goes, I thought he was with you, and Batman goes, I thought he was with you, and Wonder Woman goes, he's not with you.
That was funny, Dave.
Isn't that what they say about Wonder Woman in Batman v Superman?
That was really hilarious. Just like that, yeah.
Isn't that what happens?
You nailed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm happy
so
we got it.
Yeah, as much as I rag on like I didn't like the movie. I mean, but to be honest, like there was probably little chance that I was gonna like, just because I don't really like Man of Steel or Batman v Superman. I mean, it definitely felt more in line with those two. I've only seen each of those movies once, but it definitely felt more in line with what he was trying to do. So at least, like, even if you guys don't, you know, like for you, Mick is a big fan of his kind of his trilogy. Like, at least you got to kind of get some kind of,
and that's the
closure
thing. Like,
too.
That's the thing. Like, before this came out, knowing that Justice League cut was like the end of the trilogy, like that was like super disappointing and just like a big letdown. Not just because I didn't like the movie, but the fact that it just wasn't Zack Snyder's movie.
And knowing that he had like his version out there and like the wild.
Yep.
So
yeah, whatever happens after this, if it does continue or doesn't, I'm just glad that we got his movie, and I'm very happy. Overall, I'm very happy with the movie. Again, there are some nitpick things that I wish were different, but overall, I'm really happy with it.
I'm just happy because it seems like the fans really won on this battle, you know? Like,
yeah.
What about the fans' brother and the fans' friend who watched the movie? Did they win, Will?
I mean, no.
Well,
I'm just talking about the release.
Up to you if you either A, wanted to watch the movie, B, you weren't asking for the movie.
Oh, I had to watch the movie. Like, there's no way I could.
And
like...
C, just shut up.
I feel like I'm trying to decide if I should watch the Justice League one now, because all I have to go off of.
I don't know if you want to.
I'm just kind of interested. Like that's my one interest.
I would say watch it just to see how different the movies are.
The master could, my boy.
Because like for most people that going in that have seen both, they are like sometimes you can go in with like, oh, like the Justice League was so bad that like anything markedly like even a little bit improved like makes it seem like way better. So I'm kind of interested if I go in the other way, like watching
if it makes you think the Snyderverse
like
is
that it's
better,
or will it make me be like, or will it just
they're both
like,
bad.
Oh my god, or like or will it make me go like, oh my god, like this Justice League is like so much worse, like that, like it makes it seem better, or if it makes it seem the same, or
even though I've lost all faith in you about Zack Snyder, I still think that you will. I still have faith that you would say that Joss Whedon's Justice League is worse.
Oh yeah, I even just from what I've like, I watched like an 8-minute video.
I know Will hates this, but Justice League is objectively a worse movie.
Whoa!
Drop the O word. We're gonna have to censor that.
Yeah, no. No.
Yeah, I watched like an 8-minute video on YouTube, just like of like a small rundown of like the differences, like, and it wasn't like it's super in detail, and it was like just the Steppenwolf character design.
Steppenwolf.
You're stepping on a wolf.
Stephen Wolf.
Steppenwolf. His character design alone is like probably twice as better in the Snyder version of the movie.
He's annoying in the theatrical version.
Yeah.
And very uninteresting.
He was kind of depressing in this movie.
Yeah, he was like sad boy.
Yeah.
Sad boys only.
Kind of.
It was, yeah, he's like, I just want to come home.
They're like,
I was like, dude, just
50.
give Steppenwolf a break, man. Like, he's trying to conquer Wolf. Like after, and he said he still has 50,000 to go. So even after he conquers Earth, like, he's like 49,999 to go. Then I can go home.
Yeah, like,
it's like, dang.
And then like at the end of it,
this guy
like,
have done?
Yeah, like at the end of it, he's like the cloaked dude. I'm not well versed enough to know what the cloaked person's name is, but they're like, I told you Steppenwolf would fail. He's like, I know. Desaad? He's like, I told you Steppenwolf would fail. He's like, I know. And it's like, oh man, like you put like Steppenwolf against like six, like, you know, I mean, like Steppenwolf didn't know Superman was gonna show up. Like the only reason he went there is because Superman was dead. Like I like when he like swings his axe at him, like, and it just like touches his shoulder and just kind of sits there and like he just like disintegrates it.
Yeah,
like, he's like, I'm not impressed.
On it and it falls apart.
It just like crumbles apart. Like I was during that fight sequence when he was just beating the snot out of him. I was like laughing like somewhat joyously. I just like watched him just beat the snot out of him. Like, I was like, kill him,
kill him.
Kill him.
They like mutilate him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They rip off one of his horns. He's just like
They just beating his
completely ripped
face in the ground. Like, I remember, like there's like just like a pool of blood like underneath him. Just pummeling it. Yes, I like that.
Steppenwolf didn't deserve that, man. Yeah.
They
Like,
did
I want the Steppenwolf cut. Where's the cut where
Steppenwolf, give us
Steppenwolf is
the
the main character, you know, like a la the first Infinity War, where we get the enemy is kind of the main character.
Oh, here we go. The Marvel fanboy wanting DC to be more like Marvel. If that's what you want, Dave, then just be happy with.
Just have Joss Whedon direct the movie. Oh wait.
Oh wait, it happened. All right. So anyway, yeah. Anything else you guys have to say about it, or?
No, I don't want to make you that mad. So
I could.
We have to.
Yeah, we're a little short on time today.
Will and Landon have to go places.
I mean, yeah, I could probably rag on more things I didn't like, but it's like, I mean, it's just stuff that like I wouldn't have, that I just don't like in movies in general. So it's not really anything indicative like specifically towards that movie. So
yeah.
And like Will said, like it's a win for like the fans of his type of movies, and like just like in general, like it's something like this never would have happened a decade ago. Same with like the Sonic redesign, which I mean that was an abomination. Thankfully they never released that version of the movie, though I would like to watch it just for sick curiosity. But the fact that now that people seem to have a little bit more of a voice, like Will was saying, like maybe in the future we can have more things get changed, or like
more
cool
things
and come back,
and things that people actually like, the majority of fans want.
Yeah.
Like companies actually listening
rich company
to
being like, oh, this is better for us, our bottom line.
Exactly. Or this will save us money, or there's 3 executives that have this opinion, so that's the way they go. Not the majority of fans want this.
Yeah.
So I think it's good, and yeah, hopefully it means
they're coming around. I think they're a little bit behind TV shows with, you know, Netflix, and because we've seen it with like Netflix, HBO, Amazon, like making like tighter, like less. You know, you see like the shows from yesteryear back in like the early 2000s having like 20 episode seasons, and, you know, bloated and like clearly just trying to get as much money, you know, I'm stumbling over my words a little bit, but like you've seen like TV shows change a lot to be shorter and like way higher production value, and like listening to what fans want.
It's swapped a lot from quantity to quality.
The quality.
Yeah.
And same with fans resurrecting shows, getting picked back up by, like, Netflix has picked up shows that have been canceled by networks, and same with Amazon.
I'm just waiting on Firefly.
Yeah, that's another one that, like, you know, maybe.
Just kidding.
You know,
I don't want any more Firefly.
I liked Firefly.
It sucked.
So, but like now we're seeing it with movies too, so that would be cool if it continues in that trajectory.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think it's a good thing overall.
Yeah.
Like or not like the movie, I think it's good.
Yeah, that's what I was just trying to say. Is it's just a win for, feels like, the people. Yeah.
People's champ.
Okay. Well, anything else, or are we ready to wrap this up?
Ready to wrap this sucker
up?
up?
I will say, Dave, we're trying a cake out of the Lord of the Rings cookbook tomorrow.
Oh, why are you making a cake tomorrow, Michael? Is there something that's happening?
It's no. It's the Bilbo Baggins 11th birthday cake.
Oh, birthday cake? You're making a birthday cake?
I wonder why that is.
Well, it's Michael's birthday tomorrow. But
yep.
What's in the cake?
It's a like strawberry heavy cream white cake, I think.
That sounds yum.
Gotta love strawberries.
Yeah. No one loves strawberries more than I do.
Strawberries are great.
I like strawberries. Oh, a strawberry shake. Yeah, that's
there you go.
I got that.
There it is.
See, Mick didn't remember because he doesn't like strawberry shakes.
Screw you, Dave.
Whoa.
Yay.
You gonna play us out, Mick?
Yay.
This has been a really awkward outro.
Mick.
Michael.
Mick.
Michael.
Can you hear us?
Michael. Game over.
Mick, can you hear us?
Mick's having a stroke.
All right. Well, Mick can't hear us any longer, or he's pretending that he can't. So
I think he's frozen.
No, he's not. His eyes are moving.
He's blinking.
He's frozen.
Okay.
He's
anyway,
frozen.
well, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys.
I don't know if you guys can hear me, but it's like.
Well, we got our answer. Okay, well.
Mick's having technical difficulties.
So anyway, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys podcast. We'll be back next week to talk more about video games, movies, TV shows, and other things to probably argue about. So thank you for listening to the show. We'll be back. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I think Michael died. Like, he's not blinking anymore.
Mick exploded.
Mick exploded.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, CastBox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website, www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Hotkeys Podcast and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/HKHotkeys. Please like and review us and subscribe to the show on whichever platforms you use. Finally, you can contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com.